channel, and today is our day 2 at Jaipur, and we will be visiting Amer Fort. Amer Fort was built by Raja Mansingh of Kachwa dynasty in 1592, and it remained the capital of Dudar region till 1727 when the capital was moved to Jaipur. We are driving along the narrow lanes towards the western entrance gate for the fort. Amer Fort is a great example of Rajput architecture, although some of its buildings and work have influence of Mughal architecture as well. We have reached the western entrance gate for the fort, and above here you can see the Jaipur fort as well, which we will be visiting later. The Jaipur Wall, more correctly known as the Great Wall of Amer, stretches for around 8 miles over the ridge of the mountains surrounding the city and guarding the city of Amer. This fort is divided into 4 sections, each with its own courtyard. The first courtyard is the JalebChok, and we entered here using the western gate called the Chand Pol. There is another gate which is called the Suraj Pol or the Sun Gate, which is on the eastern side. This is a place where the soldiers used to assemble and parade. This is the Sea Pol or the Lion Gate, which takes us to the next section of the palace. The lower level was for the horse stables and the upper level was for the guards to stay. Maharaja Mansingh, after he won the Battle of Bengal in 1604, retrieved the idol from the sea and installed it in the temple and called it Sila Devi, and it was carved out of one single stone slab. We are now entering the second section of the palace, which is called Diwan-e-aam or the Hall of Public Audience. Diwan-e-aam is a raised platform of 27 colonnades, and as the name suggests, the Raja held audience here to hear and receive petitions from the public. Satais Kachari, as you can see here, is a complex of 27 offices where ordinary people and tradesmen could come and talk to the officers for business purposes. We get a beautiful view of the front side of Amer Fort from the Diwan-e-aam courtyard. There are many watchtowers located on the Amer wall, and they were used to communicate any danger by the guards on the wall. This way leads to the eastern gate or the Sun Gate. Today is used for the elephant rice, but in those days it was used by the royal family. We are still in Diwan-e-aam, and this is the most beautiful gate, also known as the GaneshPol or the Ganesh Gate. Known for its beautiful fresco mural painting using the vegetable dyes and 24K gold, and it still retains the color. We are now in the third section of the palace known as DiwaneKhas. On west side is the Sukh Niwas or the Pleasure Palace, which was used as a monsoon palace as well to enjoy the rains. Char Bagh, also known as Mughal Garden, is a sunken bed shaped in a hexagonal design. On eastern side is the Sheesh Mahal or the Mirror Palace, which is the most beautiful part of the Amer Fort. The mirrors used in the Sheesh Mahal or the Mirror Palace were imported from Belgium. The wall and ceiling of the palace is carved with beautiful paintings and flowers, which was made of pure glass and precious stones. And the placement of ceiling glass is wonderful because of this. If someone burns 2 candles, then the reflection converts the small light into thousands of stars and looks simply beautiful. As the legend says, the queen was not allowed to sleep in open air, but she loved to see the stars while sleeping, so the king ordered the architects to make that kind of mahal or the palace which could solve the problem, and the architects built Sheesh Mahal, which was built with stones and glass. The Sheesh Mahal was used by royals as the winter palace, whereas Sukh Mandir or the Sukh Niwas was used by royals as the summer palace. The Sukh Mandir palace was kept cool in the summer by covering its arched openings with screens woven with fruits of the aromatic grass called khas. The screens were moistened periodically with water, Air passing through the screens was thus cooled and carried also the fragrance of the grass into the palace chambers. We are now entering the last and the oldest section of the palace known as the Mansingh Palace. On the right side, upper level is where the king used to live, and on the lower level there were 12 apartments which were built for the 12 queens of Raja Mansingh. In the center of the courtyard is a pillared baradari or the pavilion, and this pavilion was used as a meeting venue by the Maharanis or the queens of the royal family. On each edge there were 3 apartments, so for all 4 edges it was 12 apartments. And the apartments were built in such a way that when the king visited any of the apartment, the other queens would not know which apartment the king visited. Let's take a look at the apartment which had a living room, a bedroom and a private courtyard as well. While the other sections of the palace used marble stone heavily, this section of the palace, which is the oldest section of the palace, used only the pink red sandstone. As we have covered all the 4 sections of Amer Fort, we are now taking the exit route via the servant quarters, and as we pass through this area we see a lot of cafes and handicraft stores and souvenir stores as well. This is the entrance gate of the tunnel which connects the Amer Fort to Jaipur Fort, and it was built as an escape route in case of an attack. It lies on the western side of the palace where the servant quarters are, and this tunnel is around 1 mile long. While exiting out of the Amer Fort, you can also enjoy the puppet shows here. As we exit the palace, we also pass through the area where the prisoners were kept. By the way, we had a local licensed guide here who showed us around in Amer Fort. It took us around 3 hours to view the whole palace, and it was such a beautiful experience seeing Amer Fort today. As we exit the fort using the western gate, we will also pass through many people who are playing this instrument called Ravan Hatta. It's around 1 p.m. now. We started in the morning around 9 a.m. And now as we drive down the Amer Fort, we are passing through the old Amer city buildings. Our guide then took us to this place called Rajasthan Small Scale Cottage Industries, where they have a workshop where they show how they make the different items and for shopping as well. We are now heading for lunch, and here you can see the front side of Amer Fort. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in my next video.